The environmental and the technology challenges that we are facing today have in fact morphed into different kinds of institutional crises that involve a measurement crisis on the one hand and an organizational crisis on the other hand.
So there is this perception that the European Union takes double materiality. We are concerned about investors and delivering good data to investors, but we are also concerned about measuring a lot of impact above this.
We find it difficult to find that boundary. What is that boundary between financial materiality and double materiality? And some of it's to do with that time frame. Are we talking about the short term, medium term, or the long term? And in the long term, it seems to me that most sustainability related risks and opportunities are going to be financially material, and therefore we should be reporting on them.
You want to create a system that defines what is sustainable, and we're trying to analyze every revenue stream in every company and define which percentage of this revenue is, let's say, sustainable. So the key to the process was a bunch of people working on a scientific evidence and trying to define the criteria that companies and financial markets will later use.
Business is one of the most important institutions in our lives. Crises are increasing in amplitude, frequency, and prevalence around the world. The reason is the fuel that drives capitalism, profit. But too much of profit is not associated with either advancement or progress.
Citizens of higher income countries are responsible for climate change. It's citizens of poor countries, and especially poor citizens in poor countries, that are disproportionately hurt by global warming. They need to be compensated for the damage caused by climate change, that's adaptation financing, and on top of that, they need to be paid for the cost of mitigation efforts, so mitigation financing. Who pays need not coincide with where mitigation takes place.
Something that investors can do today to act upon climate change is invest in young climate-driven ventures, go beyond software, and be comfortable with longer investment horizons to accommodate for funding in harder to abate sectors.
I set out on a journey to try and understand smaller parts of this big problem of how to impact the world. If we have this purpose to guide us, and at the same time we learn how to have conflicts, how to provide working environments where people can do good work, then we can deal with the other obstacles that come across our path on our way to a more sustainable, environmentally and socially responsible future.